And we are live, people. We are live. Welcome back to the channel Chosen Wisdom Football, a channel for the football, a channel for the football purist, the analytical, the critical thinkers who love football, people. There is a lot for us to talk about. If you have been living under a rock for the past 6, 7, 8 hours, you might not know, but Manchester United have officially launched their bid for Benjamin Sesko. Yes, people, it's what we have been waiting for, and Man United have launched a 85 million euro bid, including add-ons, people. That is the major talking point. That is the major news of the day. Man United have launched a bid for Sesko, and we will get into the details of it, the timeline of it, what it means, what it doesn't mean, the repercussions, all of that. We will get into that main news, people. I hope everyone is feeling good today. I hope everyone's had a great Tuesday. And I hope everyone's ready for a really, really good show. As usual, people, big up yourselves. On entry, just smash the like for me. It's only one button. Just press the like. It helps this really, really small channel. And you guys are all a part of this. We're all growing together and we're building something fresh and building something new. And you guys are in control of this channel. It's your channel, essentially. So smash the like, turn on your notifications, and if you haven't yet, subscribe, people. Subscribe below. It's a fresh start, something new and exciting, people. So these are the topics up for discussion today, people. We have the Sesko saga, the timeline as it has unfolded. We have Ben Jacobs weighing in on the Sesko situation. Simon Stone also coming and adding further context. We have Anthony news. Anthony has apparently rejected another club because he's holding for Betis. We're going to talk about that as well. Is Hojlund leaving? There is still more news coming out about Hojlund leaving, and that's also from Simon Stone. Ruben Amorim has once again made it clear that he wants another midfielder. He has said specifically he wants more dynamism in the midfield, and I think the Man United fan base, we can all agree that the midfield, it needs work, people. We lack dynamism in the midfield, and that is for damn sure. So could Man United get a midfielder in as well as getting this Sesko deal over the line? We're going to talk about it. Also, guys, is Maguire set to retire at Old Trafford? There is news coming out that clubs have been inquiring about Maguire, and Man United have been saying, no, he's not for sale. What a 2-3 year period from we desperately want to get rid of this guy because he can't play with a team that has a high line because he's not mobile, and all of a sudden we're battering everyone away who want to sign him. Nothing's changed. Maguire is still slow and he still can't play with a high line. But Man United apparently are telling everyone he's the best thing since sliced bread and he's going to retire at this club. Do you believe it? We're going to talk about the news. We're going to talk about the news for sure. Also, there are reports, people, that Al Nassr is interested in Mason Greenwood. And you know, the Arabs, they've got a lot of money. We also know Man United have a 50% sell-on clause. So could we, if this still happen, be getting some more money in from sell-on clauses? So guys, a lot for us to get through. Most of it will be Sesko. I'm not going to lie, guys. Most of the conversation and the updates will be regarding Benjamin Sesko today. But there is enough news, guys, enough going on outside of Sesko for us to also have conversations. So big up yourself, people. Let's quickly, before we go through the news and go through the Sesko timeline, let's have a quick look at the chat. First and foremost, I can see TK in the building. I can't be here for the show. Sending much love. Big up TK for coming in, even though you're not going to be here for the show. Just smashing a like and, you know, go on about your business, TK. Jerry in the chat as well. Evening peeps. Well, is he or isn't he? That's the $1 million. Jerry, that is the $1 million question indeed. Will he or will he not? We're going to get into it. Justice Gabriel, how are you doing? Welcome, Justice. How are you? You are happy. I know why you're happy, Justice. Let me guess. Benjamin Sesko. I think a lot of United fans are getting comfortable, and we're already getting used to the idea that Benjamin Sesko, quite possibly, maybe even likely, is going to be a Manchester United player. I hope, Justice Gabriel, you have a good time here. Big up yourself, bro. Comment below. Keep the chat flowing. I always respond to the chat. Always respect the chat. Jerry, Chelsea bid for Garnacho incoming soon. They'll put in a lowball offer of £30 million. Yeah, I think you're right, Jerry. But guess what, Jerry? It will be rejected. It will be rejected. 85 million euros. So, yes, let's go. So, as you guys can see, and I'm pretty sure you guys already know this, but we're going to go through this timeline. We know that Newcastle had already bidded around, 90 million euro total package. I think it was 75 million plus, or was it 80 million plus 10? Newcastle bidded yesterday. So Manchester United, and this is David Ornstein, who this summer has been probably the best journalist. Fabrizio Romano has been all over the place. But David Ornstein has, especially on this situation, he has been usually first to the ball. Manchester United make offer to RB Leipzig for Benjamin Sesko. Proposal is 75 million euros plus 10 million euros in add-on. It reflects United's valuation of the 22-year-old, and they believe striker favours Old Trafford. No reply yet from Leipzig, and Newcastle are also working to close the deal. So that was the breaking news from David Ornstein. And one thing which is very, very interesting, guys, is that it is 5 million euros total package less than the 5 million euros that Newcastle bid for Benjamin Sesko. That's the first thing that I understand. The second thing I understand, and Man United have made this clear over and over again, whether it's the Cunha deal or the Mbeumo deal, people, they have said that we are only going to bid if the player wants to come to us. They've bid, but we still haven't heard officially that Sesko wants to come to Man United. We've heard rumours that he prefers United, but there hasn't been any official communication from Sesko's camp. So the question I have for the chat, or the question I have in general, is, have Man United been told something in private? Have they been confirmed something in private regarding Sesko? Do they now know that Sesko wants to join them? Because their method has been that we will only bid if we know for sure the player wants to join us, and only us. So if we've now bid, does that mean that we've had that confirmation? Or have we somehow, and for some reason, changed tactics, crumbled, and started a bidding war with Newcastle without Sesko's approval? I don't think the latter is true. I hope, and I do think Man United, they must know something. They must have been told something, because if Man United do bid for this player and they do not get this player, we are going to look very ridiculous. Very. So in my opinion, it must mean, and you guys will let me know if you agree, it must mean Man United must have been told, or must know, or at least feel something. Surely. Anyway, let's quickly check the comments before we go to the next tweet. Turkish in the building as well. British Bulldog, Sesko. Let's go, Sesko. Justice, so yeah, I'm good. That 85 million euros can get a CDM and a goalkeeper. Bro, I know. We're going to talk about that as well, Justice, bro. We're going to talk about that as well. Is this an opportunity missed? Is this too much for some people? I know the fan base is split over this, over the fee. Some people wanted Watkins, some people wanted Mateta. There's so many ways we can tackle this situation and have conversations about this from so many different angles. British Bulldog says, always, I was having a dance, nearly you have missed it. Osman said, Ornstein is an actual journalist who works for Athletic. Romano is a freelancer who makes his money through the rumour mill. There you go, Osman. Big up yourself, Osman, in the chat, providing us some context, which is true. Ornstein is an actual journalist. He writes articles. Romano is not. So, yeah, Osman is right when he says that. I think Benjamin wants United. Justice Gabriel says this. I think so too, Justice. I think so too. Jerry says, playing a game of chicken here with United and Newcastle. Who's going to swerve first? Either way, Leipzig are rubbing their hands. Jerry, perfect. One thing is sure, one thing is certain, is that Leipzig are the winners here. They wanted this at the beginning with Arsenal. They wanted a bidding war, and they didn't really get one. Arsenal said, no, you guys are taking a piss. This is a circus. This is a joke. We're not interested. And now it looks like Leipzig have their bidding war. What if Leipzig reject both offers? There is a part of me that thinks Leipzig deep down always want 100 million euros. There's a part of me that thinks Leipzig might reject both offers, and then both teams are going to have to come with improved bids. And then slowly we're going to start seeing the price increase even more. There's a part of me think that might happen, guys. I hope not, but I'm right a lot of the times. If you guys are new to this channel, you realize that my intuition is not always wrong. It's often right. Anyway, Fabrizio has weighed in. He's usually, second after Ornstein, and he usually says the same thing as Ornstein, but the sprinkles a little stardust on it, adds a little word here or there, or add a little detail here or there. So this is Fabrizio Romano straight after Ornstein. He said that Manchester United submit formal bid for Benjamin Sesko worth 85 million euro package. Add-ons also included. The bid has been received by Leipzig today. Man United move follows Newcastle's 90 million euro package. The player has decision in his hands. Nothing new in this tweet. That's what I said. Fabrizio, this summer, he's just remixed, added a little beat on the underneath. Same lyrics, different beat, a little remix. That's all he's done really often this transfer window. So next tweet is a Florian Plettenberg. So all these tweets, people, they're in chronological order in terms of time. And I thought, yes, Man United have bidded. We must have bidded because we were told, we were confirmed by, or it was confirmed by Sesko's camp that he wants to come to Manchester United. That must be the reason. And then I read this tweet and it says, understand, and it's from Florian Plettenberg, understand Benjamin Sesko and his camp have reached full verbal agreements with both Manchester United and Newcastle over a long-term contract. I started thinking, so he's agreed with both clubs? And then he goes on to say final details were settled yesterday. It now mainly depends on which club also reaches an agreement with RB Leipzig. And neither of us have had our bids accepted yet. So we'll see. Man United are offering 85 million, Newcastle 90 million. Decisive hours ahead. Very, very interesting tweet. This has put some United fans back on, put the brakes back on, basically. For some United fans to put the brakes on a little bit. a little bit. It's very, very strange that this tweet and this journalist is saying that he's agreed deals with both clubs, hence why both clubs have put in their offer, and now it's up to RB Leipzig. The power really is in RB Leipzig's hands if this tweet is correct. I don't know what Sesko's thinking. I don't understand why it's taking you so long to decide whether you want to go to Newcastle or Manchester United. I find it very interesting that Newcastle have been in this race for a whole week, have put their offer to the player a week ago, well before Man United entered the race, and he still hasn't said yes to Newcastle. That makes me feel that he has been waiting for Manchester United. That's where a lot of Man United fans are getting the idea that he's chosen us, because Newcastle have been around for the whole week, maybe a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, and nothing's happened. And now all of a sudden, things are moving because Man United have entered. Very, very intriguing situation. However, I do think we will get him now. I'll be shocked if he chooses Newcastle. It's not out of the realm of possibility that he chooses Newcastle, but at this point, knowing what I know, knowing about United's transfer ethos of only wanting players who want to play for them, who only wanting players who want them, seeing Man United observe Newcastle's 2 bids, take our time, and then all of a sudden bid, have we been told something? I think United will get this deal over the line. I think so. I think so. Let me know what you guys think. James Katana, big up James. I'll be happy if he comes to United, says James. Osman is saying that just brace yourselves for Sesko changing his mind back and forth 5 times in the next week. Yeah, Osman. Osman in the chat, as optimistic as I am, right, about this, there is also the back of my mind, I'm thinking, this still feels like games. The way things are worded, the way some journalists are saying he hasn't decided yet, the way that journalists are saying that he'll only decide once Man United make a bid. It just feels very gamey. It feels very like, who are the adults here? Who's serious here about this deal happening? Or is this Leipzig trying their best to get as much money out of United and Newcastle as possible? Which makes me think the agent, rather than trying to do the best thing for Sesko, maybe the agent is on the club side. Maybe the agent is telling Sesko to not make his mind up yet, to keep quiet, so United and Newcastle increase their bids, and maybe he gets a bigger cut out of the transfer fee or whatever, the agency fees. Which for me is ill-advised, because something tells me that's probably what they tried to do with Arsenal when Arsenal walked away. So, I don't know, guys. Like I said, breaking news, United have bidded for Sesko. Some journalists are reporting that he is leaning towards Man United. He favours Man United, but that isn't official yet. Most people are just denoting or extrapolating the fact that Man United only bid if the player wants to come. And because people know that, they're just saying Sesko must want to come. Sesko must want to come to United because United wouldn't have bid for him. So, I don't know. Yeah, yes, big up Jerry. Jerry, 20 watching, only 9 likes, people. Yeah, people, it doesn't cost anything, especially a new channel like this, people. You know channels like this won't grow at all without likes. We can't battle against the big guns. Whether we're better than them or not, it won't matter unless we get pushed by YouTube, unless we get some likes, people. So, smash the blood clot likes, people. Warm to your man. Cha. Anyway, let's go on to the next tweet. Let's see what else is going on. Fabrizio has then come. So all of these tweets are in chronological order. This is the next one from Fabrizio Romano. And it says, Man United are again in direct contact with RB Leipzig to discuss details of formal 85 million euro bid for Sesko. I mean, what do we need to talk about? We sent the bid. Tell me if it's been accepted or not. But anyway, it goes on to say, Newcastle want a final answer ASAP from the club or player. Newcastle are trying their best, guys, to make this thing happen quickly. It's in Newcastle's best interest to bid before Man United, outbid Man United. So if Newcastle bid 100 million euros, United can't match that. So Newcastle's best interest is to go quickly, go fast, and go high. Completely freeze United out of the deal entirely. So we walk away. And say, no, we can't afford that. So Sesko only has one offer, and that's Newcastle. That is what Newcastle want to do. There is now pressure from Newcastle on Benjamin Sesko to make his mind up very, very quickly. That's all in Newcastle's best interest. United, in terms of football, we should really want this player in as quickly as possible so he can bed in, train, maybe try to get ready for the Arsenal game. But from a commercial and a financial standpoint, we want a long game. I keep saying, Man United, we want to take our time with this deal, as long as Sesko wants United. Anyway, that's the Sesko stuff. That's a video. As you can see, our favorite journalist, Benjamin Jacobs. And essentially, he's just weighing in on the situation. And he's also being quite decent on the situation. And he has come out today and he said that United are the front runners. United are the front runners. So, I don't know if we're going to play any of this, are we? No, we're not going to play any of this. But this video from Ben Jacobs is probably the most recent update on this situation. So if you guys haven't seen it, I know it's on TalkSport, and say what you want about TalkSport, but I think it's quite interesting and it's quite revealing. So maybe have a look at that, guys. Let's see if there's anything else on Benjamin Sesko. So those are the main tweets. That's the main story with regards to Benjamin Sesko. I said to you guys, and I don't lie, even when I'm hypothesizing, even when I don't know factually, it's coming from a logical place. And I said that by the end of this week, Friday, in 3 days' time, we're going to know where Sesko's going to go. And it looks like I'm going to be right. It's only Tuesday, and we've launched a bid. By Friday, I expect him to be either undergoing a medical somewhere or the two teams finalizing the deal for Sesko. By Friday, we are going to know where he is going. 100% for sure. I'll be very surprised because this has to move quickly, guys. There are only 3-4 weeks left of the transfer window. So, for context, people, I thought I would finish the Sesko conversation by showing you some of his stats. The tweet is actually a banter tweet. It's somebody actually saying that Sesko is not good enough. 90 million euros for 13 goals after paying 85 million euros for Hojlund's 8 league goals. And that's a conversation that you guys might want to have in the chat. Are we making the same mistake as Hojlund? I don't think we are. I can give my opinion on it, but certain questions come to my mind for the chat, for you guys. Are we making the same mistake as Hojlund, buying another developmental striker? Should we have actually gone for Prem proven? Is he that good? Do you guys really rate him that highly? Is he worth the money? I think I've said it already. Does he fit in with what we're trying to do in terms of his style of play? All of these questions, we can start talking about these things later on in other videos, but yeah, guys, we're going to have a lot of discussions about this for sure if he signs, man. And if he does sign, even though I'm not going to lie, people, I was leaning towards Watkins. I was. But if he does sign, I will back him like I back any other player, and I want him to do well. British Bulldog says he's much further along than Hojlund was. I agree. It's easy, I think, and I think a lot of people do this, say we're making the same mistake as Hojlund, similar sort of player, and all of these things. And I'm like, do you know what? I think that's some reverse racism stuff. I think it's just because they're two white guys and they're tall, people are like, oh, they're the same. They're not the same. They're not the same. Sesko, first and foremost, we've had Hojlund for 2 years and we bought him at 20. He's 22 now. Sesko's 22 now. So we're getting him, Sesko, 2 years older than when we got Hojlund. And Sesko's better. Sesko's better than Hojlund in almost every way. In almost every, I can't think of anything that Hojlund has, any attribute I think Hojlund has that is better than Sesko's right now. Listen, Hojlund can still improve. Hojlund can still get better, but Sesko is on a different level to Rasmus Hojlund. He is. So it's not the same. So I disagree with when people say that we're making the same error. It's this is more calculated. Hojlund, let's not forget, Hojlund was unknown. Nobody in Europe was after Hojlund. Not really. Nobody was speaking about Hojlund. Not really. And I think not many people were in for him. And we still paid over the odds for him. Sesko has been monitored for years by many, many clubs. It's completely different for me. So I think this Sesko gamble is more calculated, for sure. For sure. Anyway, further news. Let's see what this tweet is saying, people. Manchester United's offer for Sesko is seen as significant as there had been suggestions Man United did not want to firm up their interest with Leipzig without knowing Sesko was prepared to join them. United are willing to let Rasmus Hojlund leave the club in order to make space for Sesko to come in. And this is from Simon Stone, who's a BBC journalist. So he's supposed to be very reputable. Key word is United are willing to let Rasmus Hojlund leave in order to make space. It doesn't mean he's going to leave, definitely. But if offers come in for Rasmus Hojlund and we get Benjamin Sesko, United will listen. Now, I need your opinions on this. I think I've made it clear that Rasmus Hojlund is not my favourite player. I'll say that I'm saying it kindly. He's not my favourite type of striker. While I still think there is potential in him and I think a club can get something out of him, he's just not good enough from my perspective. He just isn't. And he's had 2 years. While I don't think Man United have developed him, and I think Man United have also failed him as well, I just don't think he's good enough. So, that being said, I would sell Hojlund for around 40 million pounds. If a club wants to sign him on loan, I'm also prepared to do that. And the reason why is because there is a small part of me that thinks that there is a player in there. If things just click for Hojlund, he could do something. And I don't want to sell him only for 2-3 years later, him to be like a Gyökeres. Because Gyökeres wasn't doing much. I mean, he kind of was. He was doing all right at Coventry. Then he went to Sporting. So the same could happen for Hojlund. The Hojlund could go to an easier league where it's less pressure, higher line, more space to run in behind and start banging in goals. And then by the age of 24, 25, he's looking like a decent striker. Then United are going to be like, oh, let's bid £100 million for Hojlund. That's why I don't mind a loan move for Hojlund. For that reason. Also, if we send him a loan and he does well, we can demand more for him in terms of the fee. Win-win situation. But as you guys can see, according to Simon Stone, Manchester United are willing to let Hojlund leave the club. Let's see what British Bulldog is saying. Champions League, international, etc. He will be good. Yeah, I agree. Let me know what you guys are thinking about Hojlund. Everyone has their opinion on Hojlund. Some people thought he was absolutely trash. A lot of people who think he's garbage, they're slowly changing their minds on him. They might not still think he's the best thing ever, but they're now going from him being garbage to him being, do you know what? He's decent. Now that you've seen Cunha and Mbeumo and seen Hojlund in his last 2 games in pre-season, that's been enough to change a few people's minds with regards to Hojlund. I'm still the same. I've seen enough over the last 2 years to make my mind up personally. But I understand that some fans have changed their perspective on Rasmus Hojlund over the past months. I get it. I totally get it. But yeah, very interesting. At the end of the day, guys, we're not in many competitions, and we're only playing once a week. We don't need 3 strikers. I think Zexi will play up front. If we do get Sesko, he's probably going to have to. I know I wax lyrical to a certain extent about the split striker that we played against Everton, Cunha and Mbeumo, and plus Cunha and Mbeumo switching places. But I don't want to see Cunha as a striker, and I don't want to see Mbeumo as a striker. Just off that pre-season game, as much as I think some of it worked, and please guys, check out my tactical analysis video. I've put it up. It is up on my page. It's doing quite well, as you guys can see there. Hello everybody and welcome back. Really good video. I took a lot of time to do it, a lot of clips, a lot of analysis. We spoke about the formation, how we played. We spoke about the 4-4-2 formation when we are defending. Then we spoke about the 3-4-1-2 formation. Bruno behind Cunha and Mbeumo when we attacked. We spoke about the split striker. We spoke about Ugarte. We spoke about the left-hand side. Listen, we broke it down tactically and in depth. So please go and check out the tactical analysis video. I actually prefer to do tactical analysis. I think that's probably where my brain goes to. I'm an analyst by nature. So I like to break things down in detail, guys. So check out my tactical analysis. Video's only been up for, was it 12 hours or something? And it's a new channel and it's got 400 or 500 views already, guys. So the video's doing really, really well. But support the thing. Support the thing, people. It's your channel, like I said. It's our channel. And the more you support, the bigger we're going to get. 20 hours ago, it's been up. So yeah, what was I saying before? Yeah, Sesko. So I just think that we should just wait until we get, here we go, with regards to Benjamin Sesko. I'm not fully gassed yet. I know some people in the chat are fully gassed up and like, yeah, we're gonna get him. I'm not. I don't know what it is. I'm not gassed up. I'm not gassed up yet. I'm not. Maybe it's because it's really expensive. Maybe it's because I'm like, I don't want to go through another transfer saga. I just want this wrapped up quick. Maybe I'm just tired of sagas. I'm not feeling the buzz yet. Or maybe I'm a pessimist. Maybe I think our bid's going to get rejected. I don't know what it is, but I'm just not feeling it at the moment. Like, it's real. Until I get, here we go, until we get confirmed that the bid's been accepted, I'm not going to get too gassed, people. Not too gassed. Anyway, let's move on from the Benjamin Sesko situation. We can return to Sesko later on in the show if you guys still want to talk about it. But this is news. This is news, right? The bomb squad. The 5 players that we want out. I bet Manchester United didn't think or understand or believe that with 4 weeks left of the window, all the players that want out will still be here. And even Rashford, he's only out on loan. I don't think they expected this. They never expected it. They never expected it. So Anthony has turned down the chance to leave Manchester United for the 3rd time this summer as he holds out for return to Real Betis. Immediately, I know the first thing that comes to a lot of people's mind is, F off, get out our club. Why is he turning down these deals? And I absolutely get that, because you're thinking like a fan. You are doing the bidding, doing the job of Man United, Ineos, Glazers. They want him out. You support the club, which means you support them, and you want Anthony out. And you also want the fee. When did we as football fans care so much about recouping fees for players that leave? I've never in the history spoke about a player and said, I want him to leave so we can get the money for him, so we can buy players. How has the football club managed to curate fans' brains to start thinking like that? We're thinking like owners. We're doing the books for them. We're getting angry at players and we want to balance the books for the owners. When do we become accountants? I think it's strange. Yes, I'm a fan of Manchester United and I want Man United to have the funds necessary to do things. But it's the Glazers and Ineos. They're the reasons why we don't have money. The debt. So it's like these players, yeah, are thinking about their careers and their future and their lives. Anthony is not sitting around thinking, let me go to a club I do not want to play for. Let me go to a country I do not know, just so Chosen Wisdom can get excited, and just so Jim, the rat, can get £40 million for me. That's not what he's thinking. He wants the best deal for his family and for his career. So, as I said on this channel many times, sometimes we just have to compartmentalize things. Sometimes as fans, it's okay to get frustrated and be like, get out and give us the money and all these things. But also understand that he doesn't need to do that, and he shouldn't do that. If you were in his position, you wouldn't do that. And you can have two opposite ideas, thoughts, questions, whatever you want to call them. Two opposite things in your head at the same time, and they're both true and valid. I believe that everybody, all of the players, the bomb squad, Sancho, Anthony, Garnacho, and I think, was it Malacia's left, but especially those three, they are all doing the same thing. They are all speaking. He's speaking to Betis. Garnacho speaking to Chelsea. Right? And they're all waiting to the last minute to bid for these players. These players just want to leave and play football. They don't care how much money Man United earn from their sales. So it's in their best interest to speak to Betis, in Anthony's example, circumstance, so he can get the best deal for Betis so he can leave. And if that is coming for me 3 days before the end of the window and bid 25 million euros because they'll accept it, then that's the case. The only issue is that we have been told by Manchester United many times, guys, that they will not sell for cheap. Amorim has actually said this in his press conference. If teams think they can come for these players late in the window and we're going to sell them for cheap, we're not going to do that. They'll play and train with the under 23s or under 21s, whatever. So we will always keep an eye out for the outgoings. I think outgoings are essential. Even if we get Benjamin Sesko, right? A goalkeeper. And of course, we got Cunha and Mbumo. Without outgoings, I don't know how I would rate this window. Without outgoings, this window can only be a maximum 6 out of 10 rating. It can only be, even if you get those 3 players, it's a 6. For it to be 7, 8 out of 10 window, we also need to sell some players. And at this moment of time, these guys they're just chilling. They're comfortable. They're relaxing. They're relaxing. Because they know, and I've said it many times, you can't sell something that you've dragged through the mud. Battery's dead. You can't sell something that you've dragged through the mud and you've criticised for a whole summer, and then try to convince everyone else that it's worth something. That's not how it works. It's not how it works. Anyway, let's move on from Anthony. That's the Anthony situation. If any of you guys care about what's going on, I hope you do, because, you know, last thing we want is the bomb squad returning. Right now, we've got harmony in the changing rooms, harmony in the dressing room. On the pitch, we don't really need these players back. We don't. Anyway, people, moving on. So this is, I think, this is what a lot of you guys are speaking about. The midfield. The midfield. On my tactical analysis, we broke down the midfield and why it didn't work as much in the game against Everton as it did against Bournemouth. Ugarte's had a crazy game. He was sloppy, so sloppy. The midfield, there isn't a combination. There isn't a pairing that we can put out there. For me, that's acceptable. It's always something that's going to be missing. If you do Casemiro and Bruno, it doesn't really work. It works in terms of on the ball. They are probably the two best in terms of the combination on the ball. But Casemiro doesn't have legs and Bruno doesn't have the discipline. Ugarte and Kobe Mainoo, it works, but at the same time, it doesn't work because Kobe still needs a bit more athleticism to go up and down the pitch. Ugarte is not good on the ball. Casemiro and Ugarte doesn't really work because we don't really have an excellent ball progressor out of the two. Casemiro and Kobe, we haven't actually seen much of, but the same issues. I've said many times what United need in midfield is somebody who can do everything. Because we play in a 2 with a 2 in midfield rather than a 3. When you play with a 3 in midfield, you can have 110 who's just attacking. You can have an 8 that's box to box and a 6 that's defensive. Each one of those 3 midfielders has characteristics that the other doesn't, and they all play in that 3. Once you play in a midfield 2, you don't have 3 players or 2 other players that will make up for your deficiencies. There's only one other player that makes up for your deficiency. So you in the midfield 2 need to be a Keane, a Vieira, a Scholes. You need to be a player who can do a lot of things. And therefore, the player who plays beside you doesn't really have to make up for your deficiencies per se. He just needs to add to them. Midfield 2 pairing, to find a player who can play that midfield 2 in this day and age is difficult. Your likes of Balebas, I like Baleba. I think Baleba can play in the midfield 2. But we need a dynamic midfielder. And as you guys can see on the screen, Manchester United have been assessing their options in midfield. Ruben Amorim is keen to add more dynamism in the middle of the park. It's not the first time we've heard him say this, people. For the first time in a while, he's actually addressing the midfield, and he's actually come out 3 times now, I've counted, and said that we need to address the midfield. He said this to the point where at the beginning of the window, we weren't really talking about the midfield. We were talking about strikers, 10s and goalkeepers. As you know, further and further into the transfer window, Man United keep releasing information that if an opportunity presents itself, we will go in for a midfielder. So whether it's Amorim keeps pushing or whatever it is internally, we've slowly changed our stance with regards to midfielders, and we're now open to looking at one, to buying one. I still think Douglas Luiz is probably our best bet. I cannot believe that we're going to spend 65 million euros or 65 million pounds on 3 players, because that's what all 3 players will cost at the base fee, 63 for Cunha, 65 for Mbumo, 65 again for Sesko. So that's what, 6, 12, 18. That's 190, almost 200 million pounds. If you told me that we're going to miss out on Champions League money, miss out on all of that money, and still able to spend 200 million pounds on 3 players, and not one of them are midfielders, I would have been like, wow. But then I would have slapped you afterwards. If you're a woman, I wouldn't have slapped you. But you know, I don't know. That analogy went wild, man. That analogy was weird. I don't know why I used that one. But you get my point. You get my point. We've actually spent, if we get this deal over the line, we've spent money. And to be fair, in a way, I'm going to contradict myself right now and say that after finishing 15th, I expected us to do a madness, to spend a good amount of money. I just didn't know where it was going to come from. So let me see the chat quickly before I move on. Eddie Blacks is in the chat. Big up Eddie in the chat. Yo, Wiz, I probably missed it. What's your thoughts on Sesko bid? Short recap. Yes, people, short recap from the beginning of the show, because we are reaching towards the end, is that Man United have made a bid, 85 million euros, which includes add-ons for Benjamin Sesko. I think that Man United, and I hope Man United, must have been told officially from the camp that he's going, or he wants to go to Man United. That's my initial thought, Eddie. My initial thought is, surely, and I pray, because we can't be losing out to Newcastle, that United have been told by Benjamin Sesko that he wants to come. Because United keep saying that we only bid if the player agrees. I do think the fee is a lot. For a player who scored 13 goals and 6 assists, he's never really scored more than 14 goals in the Bundesliga. I think 65 million pounds is a lot. We're paying 65 million pounds for Premier League proven number 10s. And now we're spending the same amount for a striker outside the Premier League who's not proven. So in an ideal world, if you're giving my opinion, and I'm not just telling you the news, I'm actually giving you my opinion, I would have gone for Watkins. I think the fee is a bit much. However, now that we're here and we've actually made a bid, there's no backing down. We have to go and get the player. We have to go and get the player now. I will back the thing. It's not my first choice, but we are here now, so I will back it. I will back it. That's where I'm at. I think it will get done, or at least we will find out where he wants to go by the end of this week for sure. I said this to you guys already. I said it yesterday that by Friday we're gonna know some stuff, and things are gonna move quickly on this one because of the time left. There isn't any time left. There isn't any time left. If Leipzig want to replace this guy, they need to do this deal quickly so they can replace him. Everyone is running out of time. Nobody's got time here. Nobody. So that's where I am with the deal. That's probably why, guys, I'm probably not as overly excited as some people, but I still want it to happen. Like I said, it was Watkins, Mateta, and Sesko. I think British Bulldog in the chat kind of pushed me into, the more I thought about Mateta, British Bulldog, the more I'm like, yeah, why aren't we going for Mateta? Why aren't we? But we're here now, people. We're here. So, yeah, man. Eddie, in terms of the midfielder, he keeps talking about dynamism. And I hear other fan channels talk about midfield orchestrator, someone who sits and just passes the ball and stuff. But if you watch the double pivot, bro, if you watch Amrin ball and understand the way Amrin plays football, the defensive three do that stuff. Like, the defenders pass the ball around. The midfield two, they run around like dogs. They need to be, the midfield two, as much as I want a Carrick, as much as I want someone who can sit and pass the ball, I need a Baleba. I need someone who can do everything. I need a Caicedo. I need someone who can pass the ball. I need a McAllister from Liverpool. Someone who can do a lot, who can pass the ball, cover the ground, tackle. win headers. I need a 23-year-old Casemiro. I think we need that more than anything. Yes, he needs to play ball. He needs to be techie. But I don't think we can afford... Sorry, excuse me, guys. I don't think we can afford, like, a Rodri. Someone who just sits and just passes the ball around. I think the way we play, so quick and just fast and aggressive, we need a similar type of midfielder. Does it make sense, people? I hope it does. Milton says, hi Wiz, just seen news about Sesko. You just seen the news, bro. You were the one that was under the rock then. You were under the rock, bro. Things are moving quickly, Milton, bro. Things are moving quickly. Big up, though. Big up yourself, my G. Eddie Black says Roman Kemp will be the host of Sky Sports News. Premier League Friday show gearing up for Sky News groundbreaking partnership with the Premier League. Okay. Anyway. Next, we're reaching the end of the show, guys. So we've spoken about Sesko, we've spoken about Anthony, spoken about Simon Stone and potentially Hojlund leaving. We spoken about Amrim wanting a midfielder. And I think that we will try to. I can't promise you that Man United will get a midfielder in. Nobody can promise you. I think the midfielder situation is something that we'll try to do once the striker and potentially the goalkeeper has been signed. So the midfielder is definitely not going to come before the beginning of the season, if the midfielder comes at all. Anyway, this is interesting. I'm just going to read the news and read it out to you guys before I give my opinion. Mike Keegan. Man United reject approaches for Harry Maguire from 5 clubs in the Premier League and Italy. So is it 5 clubs in the Premier League and 5 clubs in Italy, or 5 clubs in the Premier League and in Italy? I think that's what it means. Anyway, amid uncertainty over England stars' Old Trafford future with contract set to expire next summer. I never knew his contract was expiring next summer. Why didn't I know that? I didn't actually know that, people. Does it change my assessment? Let me think. Does it change how I feel about this? His contract, is that true? Is that true, people? Maguire's contract is expiring next summer. So he's got 1 year left. All right, anyway. If that's the case, I might change the way I think about this. But it is strange that we are rejecting approaches for Maguire. How have things changed so much for Maguire? Apparently, we've checked and it does run out next year, June 2026. So if we are rejecting offers and he's got 1 year left on his contract, does it mean we're about to offer him a new contract? People, help me out on this one. First of all, do you even believe this story? But secondly, I think I need help to understand it, because you know how my brain works. I'm going to scrutinize and analyze every little detail, and sometimes I overdo it. Maybe the answer is just simpler. I still don't think he fits our system. Listen, he had decent games. We finished 15th last season. So I'm not one of the United fans who say we finished 15th, but Bruno had a great season. Nobody had a great season. We finished 15th. Nobody should have won any Player of the Year award. Nobody should have won anything like that. We finished 15th. And if anybody won anything like that, it wouldn't have been Bruno. It would have been Amad fucking Diallo. The young man who stepped up and balled out when we needed him. But yet, Bruno wins it again after being sent off 3 times in a month. Anyway, I digress. The point is this. We still play with a high line, right? We still push our defending line up to the halfway line. He still struggles off the ball. He still struggles with pace behind. The thing is, we know Harry Maguire plays well in a back 3. He prefers a back 3. We have been saying this for 6 years. He prefers a back three. He doesn't do well in a back two. So now he's playing in his preferred system. He's going to look better. We already said that he looks better in this system. It doesn't mean he's changed. He hasn't got quicker. He hasn't got more mobile. He's still the same player. On the ball, Harry Maguire is decent. I'm not here to lie. Let's be objective right now. On the ball, Harry Maguire, maybe he does that switch pass a bit too much. When he does that switch pass that Lenny Euro does better, in my opinion. But we saw last season, on the ball, Harry Maguire's got tech. He was put up front for 10 minutes, brought on, scored a few goals for us. He did all right. He did all right. But we need to be getting rid of Maguire's. We need to be looking for the future. I cannot believe that United are rejecting bids for Harry Maguire whilst trying to say that we need to sell Sancho and Garnacho and whatever for money. Like, what are we really doing here? What are we really doing here? If this story is true, and I need more information, let's wait. Let's wait to see if other bigger reporters start talking on this matter. But if this is true, I don't get why United wouldn't be looking for offers for Maguire, personally. But there you go, people. Let me know your thoughts on that situation. Have you think Maguire's done enough to remain at the club, finish his career at Manchester United, just like Luke Shaw, just like Phil Jones, all of these guys who just meh guys. Listen, Mason Mount will probably finish his career at United as well. Why not? Mason Mount, you're only 26, but in 6 years' time, you'll probably still be here. You'll probably be injured every season, and United probably wouldn't have sold you. So Mason Mount, you might as well finish your career here as well while we're at it. I don't know. Flipping heck. But yeah. All right. Before we get into this one, the last bit of news, people, let's see what the chat is saying. Milton said it's a very bold move by United to be solid and stick in there with all the... Yeah, Milton. I think out of the two teams, Newcastle and Man United definitely look the stronger. They definitely did the power play here. Watch Newcastle first bid get rejected, then watch Newcastle bid again. Just sit, relax. Then we came out and we said that we're only going to bid if the player wants us. United have looked very controlled during this whole process. And do you know what? I like the fact that as much as we as fans were frustrated about the Mbumo deal, we were getting annoyed about this and annoyed about that, internally, Man United are actually very calm about everything. It's the fans that get fed up and we get frustrated and we want things done quickly. I think this transfer window, even though, like I said, it's not a 10 out of 10 or anything, right now it's probably like a 5 or 6 maximum. But the hierarchy, Old Trafford, I think they're quite calm. They're quite chilled. And I like the way they've played the Sesko situation. I like the way they played it. I don't think Ed Woodward and the bankers would have played it the same way. I don't think so, guys. If I'm wrong, if you think I'm wrong, let me know. Let me know. Adieri Kangumba. Hope I pronounced the name properly, my friend. Hi, Chosen. How are you? I'm good, my friend. I'm good. I'm well. Isak should accept to go Liverpool now, and Benjamin Sesko accept to go Newcastle United. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. It looks like all the dominoes are falling into place. Like, yeah, I don't want, as a Man United fan, obviously, Isak to go to Liverpool. I mean, why would I? If we stop Newcastle from getting Sesko, I think Newcastle will pivot to Ollie Watkins. And don't forget, Jackson is available. It's going to be, if Newcastle do not get Sesko, they're going to have to go for Jackson or Ollie Watkins. They will. So, I don't think Newcastle, even though Sesko is the one they're driving for, if you have to pivot to Jackson or Ollie Watkins and you're Newcastle, it's not the end of the world. It's not. Rajat, big up Rajat in the chat. Always representing, always coming through in the chat. Big up yourself, my guy. I hope you're doing well, man. Hello to you, my friend. Ben will maybe pick Newcastle, but we'll probably. Rajat, you're covering two grounds there. Is it Newcastle or is it United? Do you think? You know, but big up, man. Big up Rajat. Always representing, always coming through. Newcastle did negotiating, and the Man United comes in. Yeah, Rajat. Listen. At the end of the day, Rajat. At the end of the day, we did the same for Arsenal. We did negotiating for Gyökeres, and they slid in with their rollerblades on the ice skates, and they went, "Let us take over." And they slapped us in the face, and they took over. We might be doing the same thing to Newcastle. Newcastle, you negotiate for us. Yeah, you sheep. We're the shepherd. You sheep negotiate for us. And when we're ready, we just slide in. You know them ones, you know that? Slide in. And be like, we'll take it from here, motherfuckers. We'll take it from here. You know what I'm saying? And then we're going to bid €5 million less than you as well. You know? Now you go and fuck off. Right over there. That's what we did. Bro, listen. It happens to us and we do it to others. It's a circle of life. Hakuna Matata, Lion King settings. That's how it goes, bro. That's how it goes. Anyway, my guy Mason. And I have to caveat it by saying my guy in a footballing sense, and only the footballing sense. I don't condone what man does in his personal life. I do not. And I feel like I have to caveat it because the internet is a crazy place. Now that I've caveated it, and I said I don't condone what he does in his personal life, I'm going to say my guy Greenwood. First and foremost, Jamaican heritage. Come and play for Jamaica. I think, wait, he already plays for Jamaica, doesn't he? Yeah. Play, just like Raheem Sterling should have played for Jamaica rather than England. But here we go. I'm digressing once again. But this is my guy. If he did not mess up his career, listen. When I saw this guy slap the ball with his left foot, yeah, I was like, what? Okay. But then when I saw him slap the ball again with his right foot, I was like, hold it a second. What foot is this guy? What is his main foot? How dare you slap the ball, yeah, with 2 feet the way this guy does? When I saw Mason Greenwood at 16, yeah, I made a bold prediction. I said by the age of 25, 24, if he continues, if he grows, if he develops, all of these things, this guy will be in Ballon d'Or conversations. I have never seen a talent like, listen, we've had, who have we had come out the, we've had Gomez. Angel Gomez, yeah, was an angel. Listen, Angel Gomez is a baller. People like him, Mason Greenwood, them guys, that sort of generation of United talent, they were talented, right? This guy at 16, 15, what this guy was doing in the academy was a fucking joke. It's a shame what happened. You know, he shouldn't have done what he did. I hope he's in a better place mentally. I hope he's healed and the whole family's healed. But it's just a shame. It's a shame. But anyway, back to the topic. Al Nassr made a recent inquiry on Marseille striker Mason Greenwood. Marseille don't want to sell, and now unclear if Al Nassr will persist or whether Greenwood is open to Saudi. I mean, then is this Ben Jacobs? Is this a story then? Is this really a story? Anyway, any sell now or in the future windows hands Manchester United a 50% sell-on. 50%. This guy, yeah, I'm pretty sure got about 18 goals last season. I'm pretty sure he got around 18 goals in the league last season. Mason Greenwood. And we're trying to buy a striker who got 13 goals in the Bundesliga when we let this guy who's literally just scored 18 in France, and he's about to play in the Champions League with Marseille. And yes, I can't go backwards. I know why we let him go. We don't need to talk about it on this channel. I totally understand why. Believe me. But it's just putting things into context, because If Sesko, and this is the question for the chat right now, forget what this guy did in his personal life, just the footballer, right? We're talking about here. If Sesko, with what he's done, 13 goals, whatever, is worth £65 million, how much is Mason Greenwood worth? When Mason Greenwood leaves Marseille, I'm telling you guys, he will be a £100 million player. Remember, Chosen Wisdom told you this on this channel. If you don't believe me, then you haven't been watching Mason Greenwood. He will be. He will be. And 50% sell on, give me that 50 M's. Give it to me right now. Anyway, let's quickly see what the chat is saying. Big up the chat. Rajat up in the building. Been here on YouTube, but been working. We 9 to 5, Rajat, yeah? 9 to 5. You got to get that peas, man. I've been working as well, bro. Just came back from work myself, people. Do you think Ineos have the midfield money too? Eddie, I don't think they do. I'm surprised we're even going in for a striker. But United every year say we don't have money and we still manage to spend about 200 million. And listen, this is what I said at the beginning of the window. I might not love Amrim and his tactics and all these things, but give the man some players. Spend at least £200 million on players for this man. And it looks like we're going to do that. Like, I feel like we always spend about £200 to £300 million in every manager's summer transfer window. And it looks as if we're doing the same for Amrim. So I don't know if, I think we probably have to make sales to get the midfielder in. That's why I said Douglas Luiz on loan, because, yeah, I can't see us spending big money on any midfielder, to be fair. Having Christopher Vivell may give us the advantage getting him joining. Yeah, I mean, that's what people are saying online. The fact that Vivell is here, working for Man United, who, you know, worked for Leipzig, worked with Leipzig, knows the player, worked with the player. People are saying that that is giving us an edge. Vivell is really good at his job. So we will see. We will see, guys. Milton says, aha, a slick move pulled off by United finally. Yeah. It's about time we do some slick stuff in the transfer window, man. That we always looking at bums getting advantage of. I think Bolaji J Star. I think we really need defensive midfielder more than any other thing right now. I can't disagree with you. I can't disagree. I think the consensus now, especially after watching Ugarte, is that we need to go into the transfer market and get a midfielder. I think that's a consensus now. And I feel like it's changed more rapidly after that game. But I've always said that I don't mind not getting a striker if we can get a world-class midfielder in. Keep Hojlund for another year, maybe. Yeah. Who knows? Rajat says, kind of felt they were at once Newcastle go mad with making a move. Yeah, Rajat. I just hope that we're making a move because of something that we know and something that we've been told officially, and not just doing it because we're just reacting, if that makes any sense, Rajat. I hope that's not the case. Captain says, are you a Newcastle or what? NFC fan? What? Newcastle Football Club? Nottingham Forest? What? NFC? Captain says, I'm not a Man United fan for saying that Sesko is a 13-goal striker. I know what you mean. I'm not a Man United fan because Sesko scored 13 goals. I must be, what, a Liverpool fan then? Because Sesko scored 13 goals. I don't really understand what you're saying, Captain. But big up. Thanks for the chat. I hope you like the channel. Milton says, true, two-footed players are very rare. Cristiano was also one. Funnily enough, it's the same club for both Al Nassr. Yeah, I think, Milton, I've been told that Cristiano Ronaldo is there and he's trying to get Bruno. And now, clearly, he's trying to get Mason Greenwood. He is going in for people that he knows, CR7. So I get it. I get what CR7's doing at Al Nassr, trying to get all of these players from Man United. Big up captain, like I said before. Greenwood would normally be at least 60 million. Bro, Greenwood's better than Sesko. He is. He's better than Sesko. So if Sesko's 65 million pounds, Greenwood's at least 75, 80 million pounds right now. I honestly think so. Bro. Hello guys. Wendell in the building. Mr. Peterson, how are you doing? I hope you're having a good evening. 8:30. I hope you've had your dinner and you're just chilled. Hello guys. I'm very worried about our midfield. Wendell, you're speaking to the choir, bro. You're speaking to the choir. I think most people in this chat, can we all agree, everybody in the chat, that yes, we're happy with the striker or to get a striker, but we are all concerned about the midfield. We are all concerned about the midfield. I think that is the biggest kept secret. Biggest kept secret. Wendell says we cannot and must not ever start the season with Ugarte and Casemiro. Oh man, we cannot and must not ever. I understand. I hear you, Wendell. I hear you. Eddie says apparently CR7 and Greenwood don't get along from United times. Yeah, I think when CR7 was there, he was talking about some of the young cats and some of the youngsters not doing certain things, I think. And I think he was alluding to Mason Greenwood, wasn't he, when he was criticising some of the youngsters. So I don't know. Maybe things have changed. I don't know. But yeah, I heard something about that, Eddie, to be fair, as well. So maybe you're not wrong, bro. Maybe you're not wrong. There you go. I know you guys have been looking at this tweet, but I just find it's interesting that Sky Sports have Sesko as a Man United signing. Already they have him as a Man United signing. Also, guys, is it me, yeah? Or when Sky Sports report on Man United often, they report on us in a negative way. I'm listening to how people talk about us. And sometimes when they report on the fees that we pay, I sometimes feel like they add on, extra digits and they inflate it. I don't like Sky Sports a lot, Sometimes I'm like, Sky Sports, your agendas are so clear. So clear. Rotted. Excuse me, people. Excuse me. But yeah, when Liverpool say anything to us, when Liverpool try to talk to us about how much we spent on this and how much we spent on that, tell them to shut up. Tell a Liverpool fan to shut their damn mouth. Tell them, just say those words to them and they'll understand. Because look at Hugo Ekitike. I'm not even going to call him Ekitike. Hugo Ekitike. Yeah. 79 million pounds. That is so childish. Hugo Ekitike, yeah. And from the same league, right? Yes, Hugo Ekitike's goal scoring record is better. You can argue he's probably a more silkier player. Probably playing more positions. Maybe a better dribbler as well than Sesko. They have different attributes for sure. But 79 million pounds is a lot of money for Hugo Ekitike. So this is interesting. And also, look at Victor Gyökeres. Look at Victor Gyökeres. Very, very interesting, people. Anyway, before we wrap up, let me quickly see what Milton's saying. Hi, Wiz. There was supposed to be a Newcastle deadline today. Yeah, I heard that. 48 hours, Milton. 48-hour deadline. So, why go on with that? Why go on with that, Newcastle? 48 hours, you have 48 hours to decide. They thought they were bad, innit? They were like, you have 48 hours to decide. We are Newcastle. And then it's like 4 days later. What? Sorry? No, I ain't decided yet. Yeah. Who? Newcastle? What? Bro, Newcastle thought they were bad. Newcastle try to put a time limit on the thing. Hourglass and hourglass settings. Nah, bro. Nah, Newcastle, you can't do that. You can't do them things there. So we'll see. 48 hours, like a rap battle. You've got 24 hours to respond. Newcastle thought they were bad. They try to give them a deadline, you got 48 hours. I'm like, what? Who are you, bro? What do you mean I got 40? I mean, I got 4 weeks, motherfucker. 48 hours. Man, chill. But yeah, no, I heard about that, Milton. I feel with the time difference in Germany, then this deadline is nearly over, right? Yeah, I mean, by close of play tomorrow, the deadline is over. If so, I don't know what Newcastle. Listen, that 48-hour deadline thing was crazy. That was too bossy, bro. Them too bossy. It's too bossy, man. Eddie Black says Aston Villa have reached a €35 million, a £30 million agreement to sign Nice forward Evan. Ollie Watkins might be on the move. Oh, hey, Eddie, is that 30? Yeah. Let's find that news that Eddie's talking about. Can we find that news that Eddie is talking about? Aston Villa. Let's see if we can put it up for you, Eddie, and have a conversation about it. Milton says Sky Sports is very biased towards the clubs like Arsenal and also... Yeah, Milton, I don't like the way Sky Sports talk about Man United. Like, I don't like it. I feel like they need... If they're talking about us, they need to say sir. If they're talking to us, start by saying sir. Like, no respect, bro. No respect. Oh, there you go, Eddie. What are people saying now? Evan Gessan to Aston Villa. Here we go. Verbal agreement in place after €30 million plus €5 million in add-ons accepted. Nice authorized. Wait, Nice. Yeah. Hold on. Nice is Ineos, right? I need to think about this. Let me think about what's going on here. Because Nice is Ineos. So what's happening here? Nice authorized Gessan to travel for medical on contract signing as next steps. New striker for Unai Emery. Bro, are United going to get Watkins? Are we going to actually go back and go get Watkins? Bro, at the end of the day, yeah, if we can get both of them, that solves... Because at the end of the day, there's the two arguments of this. Watkins is now. He's for now. He ain't got future this and future that and all of this talk, yeah? 3 years out of Watkins, 15 goal a season, but there's no longevity. Sesko, he ain't going to give you 15 goals right now, but he could do in the future. So almost opposites. If we get both, it's not going to happen. Obviously, it's not going to happen. But if we get both, that solves the problem. Boom, bam, Bob's your uncle or your auntie's brother. Easy. But I don't know. Because clearly, does this mean Watkins, as you guys are saying in the chat, Watkins is going? Ineos owns Nice. Nice have sold this player to Aston Villa, a club that are trying to take the mickey and pull our pants down for Watkins. So, what does it mean? Newcastle, yeah. Obviously, I mean, I haven't said it yet, but the first thought actually came to my head was, of course, Newcastle, Ollie Watkins. But Man United, Ollie Watkins. Whoever loses out on the Sesko race, there is now a clear path for Ollie Watkins, which means I know the Watkins lovers, the Man United fans who love Watkins, they're going to be excited when they hear this news. Because I'm still trying to work out in my head what this could mean. I'm kind of waiting for the chat to really tell me what's going on, to be fair. Let me see what the chat is saying. Yep, Nice, that's Ratcliffe's club. It is Ineos club. Nice sells 30 million back to Aston Villa. This is in Watkins' position. Yep. Eddie says Gassan is very good. We should have went in for him. I'm not going to lie and say I've watched a lot of him, guys. I haven't watched a lot of this player. So I'm going to have to rely on the chat to tell me about this player, to let me know, Eddie, what his strengths are, how good he is. Is he as good as Watkins? You said we should have gone for him. What, to lead the line? Is he better than Sesko? You guys are going to have to let me know about this player. I've seen him once or twice, but I don't watch a lot of Nice. I really don't. But breaking news, guys, as you have said in the chat, this is interesting. How does this change the situation with Sesko? You know, these ripple effects happen in the transfer window always. So we'll see, guys. We'll only have to wait and see. Hopefully, listen, I can already feel that tomorrow's show, 7 p.m, is going to be a madness. It's going to be a madness, bro. And the closer we get to the transfer window, the more the shows are going to start being mad. Anyway, what's next? I think we're approaching the end anyway of this session. I guess I'll bring this to your attention. It's article written in the Telegraph, and I think, you know, he said this before, but he's come out and said, Ruben Amorim has come out and said that he wants to be Manchester United's manager for the next 20 years. And now, I mean, Ten Hag has said this. Every manager that's come to Manchester United since Fergie has said that they want to be here for a very long time. And why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want to stay at Man United, build your dynasty as a manager, and for it to be your home? Of course you do. So this is nothing really different to what any other manager has said. He's gone on to say, after a difficult start to life at Old Trafford, when he knew the side would struggle, Portuguese coach is optimistic ahead of new season. So, is this news? Really? Not really. I don't think so. But it's interesting, and I guess maybe it's important as fans to understand the manager's intent. Yes, he has a year left on his contract, a year and a half, I believe, left on his contract. But despite the fact he said things during the season, like, if they want me gone, I will go. If they want me to leave, I will leave. And when he kept saying things like that, I was like, bro, you got to sound like you want this, bro. You got to fight for it. You can't say, if they want me to leave, I will leave. I mean, you can, I guess. I mean, that's something that Jose would say. And, you know, Portuguese are very, very expressive with their words. But it wasn't too much fighting talk. And now he's coming out and saying that he wants to be here for 20 years, which is intent. So if this is not really news for you guys, at least it might show intent from the manager that despite the length of his contract, he's going to work hard and try his best to turn things around, which is all you want. I mean, I probably don't have as much faith in Amorim as many of you do. I'm not the biggest fan of the 3-4-2-1 formation, or whatever you want to call it. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I wasn't impressed by him last season. I have many negative things to say about Amorim. However, I have seen something this preseason. I have seen his coaching and his tactics a little bit more this preseason, and I'm willing to give him a chance with better players when he gets better players. I haven't seen this guy with true talent yet. I haven't seen this guy after a transfer window yet. And because of that, I can't write him off. I can't write him off yet. I can't. So this season is it for Ruben. This is it. He has to perform. He has to get us in. If we get Sesko as well, I don't want any. Listen, I know the midfield is an issue. But if we get Sesko, I'm demanding top 8. Minimum top 8. Minimum. Hopefully top 6. If we get Sesko. Milton said, it feels like a lot of money for a Nice striker. Yeah, I mean, Milton, I can't pretend to know a lot about him, you know. but it does seem like a lot of money. Eddie saying Gasson is a project striker, but well in his journey, good and cheap too. All right. So he's one of these ones that we need to develop. Milton says Amram is quite photogenic there. yeah. I hear that, Milton. It's a silly statement when 2 years is a long time in the Premier League. It is. Milton's right. Things can change a lot in 2 years, guys, as we all know. I think that's it, guys. I think that's the news. That is the news. Last bit of news to go through quickly before we wrap up, people. This is good news. Fabrizio has tweeted later this afternoon that Newcastle are set to approach AC Milan for Malik Thiaw. Talks follow as Thiaw is already an important player for Max Allegri and Como deal off in July. Newcastle will try to open discussions over a price soon. Newcastle, have been the laughingstock really of the transfer window. And most of their signings, whether it's Mbuemo or Cunha, we've taken 2 of their signings. So they need to start doing something. So if they can get this defender in, cool. There's only, like I said, 4 weeks left. So Newcastle need to start making moves. They really do. They're trying to change the perception of the club. They're in the Champions League. They're trying to do certain things. And I don't know, certain players are still not taking them seriously. We're still pointing our finger and laughing at Newcastle. It is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, people, that is the news for you. We've had an hour and a half show, I believe, which is, I think, normal, probably typical for us. We have spent majority of the time, guys, just having conversations and talking about Sesko. We went through the whole Sesko timeline from the first tweet to the second. We went through from morning to the afternoon. This is one good thing about doing an evening show at 7 p.m. I get to amalgamate all the news that's been happening throughout the whole day, and we can together as a channel have conversation about everything we've heard and we've seen throughout the day, rather than reacting to this and reacting to that and reacting to this and reacting to that during the day. Have a 7 p.m. show, talk about all the news, have your chat, give their opinion, and we're all good. We're all nice people. We're all nice. So yeah, we spoke about Benjamin Sesko. What's going on? Is he coming or is he going? Only time will tell, but we have officially put in a bid for Sesko, people. We went through the timeline. We went through Simon Stone's tweet as well about Hojlund. Is Hojlund leaving the club as well? Do we have to make space? We're only playing 1 game a week. So we spoke about that. Anthony and some of the other players who we want to sell, especially Anthony, they're waiting, holding out for their preferred clubs. We spoke about that as well. Amram wants a midfielder. You guys want a midfielder. So we are all on the same page. The fans and Amram both need and want a new dynamic midfielder. Will we get one? That's the question. That's the question. We also spoke about the information, the rumours that Harry Maguire could stay at Manchester United for long term, end his career here. We have been rejecting offers for Harry Maguire, apparently, if you believe the rumours. And also, if you believe the rumours, Al Nassr, Cristiano Ronaldo's club, was in for Bruno the other day. And now, apparently, they're looking at Greenwood, if you believe the rumours. Anyway, guys, it's been an amazing show. A really fun show. Really fun. Not a lot of topics, but a lot of talking points, a lot to chat about. The conversation has flown. Like I said, without the chat, this show doesn't exist. I need the chat to constantly be talking to me. Otherwise, I'm just sitting here talking to myself. So, as usual, you know who you are. Big up the chat for the interactions, for the back and forth, for the communication, for the chats, bro. I love talking to you lot. It's my favorite part of the day. Coming home, opening the chat, speaking to Eddie, Milton, British Bulldog, TK, Rajat. You know, you guys, Jerry, Osman, you know I love you, bro. The whole chat, bro. It's been good. It's been a good summer. It's been a decent summer. So long may it continue. Big up the chat all day, every day. Let me see before we go. If we confirm Sesko, what would your thoughts be on Rasmus now? I'm not gonna lie, Eddie. I'm a lot more chilled, yeah, about Rasmus and how I speak about him than I was during the season. If you saw me in watch-alongs, I was getting at this guy all the time. I'm a lot more chilled now. I don't show too much hate, yeah, towards Rasmus these days. I'm more objective when I analyze him, and I literally say he's not good enough. I still think he's not good enough. I want him sold. I think we should sell him, but I'm not against loaning him. I'm not against loaning him because I don't think he's completely rubbish or completely washed or whatever. I think with confidence in a different environment, there could be a player there for somebody. And that's why I feel like if we loan him, one, he could come back, give us options. If we finish in a Champions League spot this season and therefore we're going to be in loads of different competitions, we might need a little Rasmus, you know, off the bench. But all in all, I can summarize by saying politely, because I could go into detail and I could tell you why I don't like him, but I'm not going to do that. Rasmus Hojlund is not my kind of striker. He's not my kind of player. He isn't, if I'm going to put it politely, just in case he sees this. I doubt he will. So ideally, we sell him and get some money for him. I'm not fully convinced by the one or two decent performances he's put in pre-season. Like, those two decent performances doesn't take away the 2 years that I saw from him. It doesn't. And that's how I feel. But like I said, I'm trying not to be too harsh on Rasmus Hojlund, to be honest, because I was slating him all the time, but now I'm even saying things that, do you know what? The club has also failed him. I'm trying to look at it as a whole, in terms of what we as a football club have not done. Not just he's not good enough and all these things. It's also our job to develop him, because we knew what he was and we knew he was raw. He is a developmental striker that's supposed to play behind Martial, underneath Martial. That didn't happen. So that's where I'm at when it comes to Sesko. How about you, Eddie? Same question to you, to be fair. Yeah, what a big coup for United. Fingers crossed, people. Yeah, man. And just as you guys can see, just to finish, guys, Oh, where's Maguire? Where's Maguire? Tweet. Let's see the Maguire one. Exit. Do that. What happens? No. All right. Well, there you go, people. So those are the headlines. Those are the talking points. Big up the chat. Big up yourself. 412 subscribers. Small channel. We are making baby steps, but the road to 1,000 subscribers is there, guys. It is there. Please support the channel. We're all moving up together. This is our channel, not just my channel. It is our channel. So the channel can only go as big and blow as big as, you know, we make it. And I reckon together as a community, we can get up there. We can get to the 1,000 subscribers, the 10,000 subscribers. We can start doing shows with some of the bigger YouTubers And I know when I start doing shows with the bigger YouTubers, I'm gonna put a lot of them to shame. I know that. So also, it is now on screen, guys. I just want to share with you something quite human. Something quite human. Look at that. I guess this is why people like Xerxes, right? People like Xerxes because he just comes across like a human. He's literally playing Clash of the Clans at the Everton game on his phone. That is just funny, bro. Like, that's just like, bro, does he not know that someone's gonna take a picture of him and see it? Like, he's getting paid millions of pounds, yeah, and man's just on his phone playing Clash of the Clans. Oh man, he's a normal guy, bro. He's a normal guy. He's just like us. 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 Once upon a time, Xerxes was getting booed. Now they cheer him in the stands. All them haters need a backhand. Xerxes getting booed. No, that wasn't the plan. Yeah, got the afro. Yeah, he's the man. Sideshow Bob. Give me 20 grand. Anyway, stupid. I'm being silly, guys. Eddie, what's Eddie saying? I want Rasmus gone, and for us to reinvest the money into another player. Get him gone. Eddie is not mincing his words. Listen, I will mince my words, and I will try to be diplomatic with this thing. I'll be like, I don't like him. I don't really feel like Rasmus fits the system. Eddie's like, no, get him gone. He's not good enough. Bye. I'm done. Eddie, I respect it. I respect it, Eddie. I respect it. Get money in for Rasmus. Yeah, Milton agrees. I ain't gonna lie, Eddie. I've played it. It's one of those like build up armies and then build up your troops and then fight people. Like, it's all right. It's all right. Do you know what game I liked? Yeah, that was similar to that. Was it War? What's it called? Clash of War? Something on your phone. Dawn of War? War something? I don't know. What is it called? No, not Warcraft. It's like you build your army and it's on your phone. I can't remember what it's called, but that game was, well, the game I'm thinking about was sick. That's all I know. Eddie says, I could tell you didn't rap in school, bro. I didn't rap in school. I am the school mother. You know? You don't rap in school. You go to school to learn. You rap on the streets, homie. Nah, I'm messing. You know what? I did. Listen, I'm Jamaican, bro. We are Jamaicans. We're rappers and singers naturally. I am a rapper and singer naturally. I can do everything. Just type in Chosen Wisdom on YouTube and you might see some of my music. Anyway, guys, please also check out my tactical analysis of the Everton game. I put effort into this video. I liked the breakdown. I enjoyed what I was speaking about. That's a funny thing to say. I enjoyed what I was speaking about. But you know when you're doing something and you're enjoying what you're doing. Listen, there's not everything we enjoy, yeah, in life. And we've got to do a lot of things in our lives, yeah, that we don't actually enjoy. Like going to work. Some of us have jobs, yeah, that we hate. Yeah. We hate. But I like doing this analysis video. I love breaking it down, bro. It was enjoyable. So if you got time, have a watch. Even if you don't have time, just go into the video, smash like to help the thing, to help the channel, people. Let's go, man. We're growing. You guys know we're growing. Some of you guys have been here when we had 300 subscribers like 3-4 weeks ago, and now we've got 418. So you guys know we're growing, we're moving. We got something here. We got something here, guys. So let's keep it going. Big up your damn self. He can sing Gregory Isaacs though. I can. Yeah, man. Anyway, guys, it's been fun. It's been fun, guys. Enjoy yourself. Thank you for everything, man. Thank you for the love. Yeah, we go again, man. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we're gonna get a here we go or something. Hey, before we go, we got someone new, Luke Chapman. Make sure everyone says hi to Luke in the chat. Make him feel welcome. My Northampton Town Football Club transfer window problem season. No striker. You guys no striker? Northampton? Or you signed no striker? Or both? You've got no striker and you haven't even signed one yet either. Hard times, bro. Hard times. Come give me a hug. No, I'm joking, bro. I'm gas, people. Luke, big up yourself. I'm out here, but I'll be back tomorrow 7 p.m. Hopefully with more transfer news, with more news. Well, Luke Chapman, if you're still here, before I go, you guys have just signed Ethan Wheatley from Manchester United on loan. So thank me. Thank me. Say thank you, Chosen Wisdom. Say thank you. I'm joking, man. Hey, you guys, love, man. Big up yourselves, man. See you guys tomorrow, man.